Fitness Doctor, medicine for your body, mind and soul, mindfulness-based yoga, coaching and therapy.
So just making yourself comfortable and going through the theme of the class today. So the theme is continuing the mindful self-compassion theme of this term. And we are looking at dancing with our inner critic and maybe changing partners to dance with our more compassionate, kind self. So asking ourselves that question, whether we would like to have an inner critic or an inner coach. We're just going to start with the meditation today. So just finding a comfortable position that you can be in for about 10 minutes. Maybe gently closing your eyes. And if it's accessible to you today, not everyone finds their breath accessible at all times. Maybe taking a few deep breaths. Feeling into maybe some areas of discomfort and tension. And letting go. Feeling the nourishing of the in-breath. And the letting go on the out-breath. Perhaps letting go the past week and all of the changes, and maybe also letting go the uncertainty about the future and giving yourself that precious gift of anchoring yourself right here, right now. And if you like, maybe giving yourself some supportive touch, knowing that this activates our vagal nerve, calming us. So maybe putting a hand on your face if you would like. It's only an option, maybe a hand on the heart or anywhere else that you would find comfortable and soothing. And this is giving ourselves that reminder that we're bringing awareness into the present moment. But not just that awareness, but that kind and affectionate awareness. Now bring to mind a person or other living being who naturally makes you smile. Someone with whom you have an easy and uncomplicated relationship. Could be a child, a dog, a cat, grandparent, friend, whoever naturally brings happiness to your heart. If many beings arise, just choosing one. Letting yourself feel what it's like to be in that being's presence. Allowing yourself to feel the good company. Creating a view of this person in your imagination. Now recognizing that this being wishes to be happy and free from suffering, just like you and every other living being. Repeating softly and gently. You may have some words from last week that you prefer, but otherwise, may you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live your life with ease. And may you be kind to yourself. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live your life with ease. And may you be kind to yourself. You can use your own words, like we said before, to capture your deepest desire and wishes for this loved one. Or continue to repeat the phrases. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live your life with ease. May you be kind to yourself. And knowing that your mind is going to wander from these words that are used to focus our attention in the present moment. Just noticing when it does, and maybe taking its hand like you would a curious child or a puppy, and returning your attention back to the words. Now adding yourself in this circle of goodwill. Creating an image of yourself with your loved one. Imagining you both together. May we be safe. May we be healthy. May we live our life with ease. May we be kind to ourselves. May we be safe. May we be healthy. May we live our lives with ease. May we be kind to ourselves. Now letting the image of the other, perhaps thinking your loved one, and letting them go before moving on and letting the full focus of your attention rest on yourself. Maybe offering yourself that soothing and supportive touch, and feeling the soothing beneath your hand, feeling that gentle pressure, visualizing any areas of tension in your body, and then offering yourself these words. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I live my life with ease. May I be kind to myself. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I live my life with ease. May I be kind to myself. Finally, taking a few breaths and just resting quietly in your own body, accepting whatever your experience is, exactly as it is. So in your own time, and when you're ready, maybe finding some movement in your fingers and your toes, and making your way to a seated position just as you are ready. Welcome, Mimi. Lovely to see you. So we're just going to start with the definition of mindful self-compassion and also the garden of the mind. So if you just come to a seated position and bringing our hands out in front of us, we are holding life in our hands. And so the life that gets lifey with COVID all over the world, with the Delta variant for us with lockdown, this is what we are holding in our hands. But what we do is that we resist the reality of the present moment awareness. So if we're bringing our hands into fists, we resist that reality and we strive. So we strive, we're wanting more, and we also beat ourselves up about how we are dealing with the present reality. Like, I should be able to do homeschooling and do my own work and do all these things, and I should be I should do better. And what happens is that if you bring them up in front of your face, all of those words and those reactions to that present moment awareness, what that does is it means that we are in a fog. So placing our hands in front of our face, we get in this fog, feeling that tension. When we have our hands in front of our face, we cannot see or hug or do anything in our lives. So what we want to do is we want to use mindfulness to get us out of this fog. So we use our senses to come into the present moment. So our breath or our sight. And then we start to observe our emotions and our thoughts. So we bring them down and we give them space. So this is the garden of the mind that we talk about. We sit and we look at the garden of our mind and we accept it for all of its glory. And then we release that resistance. So if we release our hands, we release our resistance. We release our striving as much as we can, as much as we are able to. And we try and release that inner critic. And so we let it go to let it be. Life is still lifey. We're still holding the reality of, shit happens in our hands, but we are holding it. And then we ask ourselves, what do we need in this moment? So that's the letting in. We're letting in loving kindness. So we're coming in and we're holding that shit. Sorry, that word. I shouldn't really use that word. We're holding life getting lifey with gratitude, kindness, motivation, courage, grit, like we said before. So we're holding that life. And with mindful self-compassion, when we choose to change our dance party and dance with our inner critic, we bring our arms out wide. We say we are in this all together. So feeling that stretch, even though we're virtual, we're feeling this all together. We are all in this COVID world together, no matter what country that we're living in. We all have similar feelings. We're not alone. And then giving ourselves some kindness. So that yin kind of connected presence kindness, that's soothing. But we can also have yang kindness. So we're going to be talking about today a little bit that fierceness about saying, no, I do not need this right now in my life. Do not like this behavior. And also motivating ourselves with kindness. So motivating ourselves, finding our inner coach rather than our inner critic. So that's just a little bit of visualization of all the teachings that we're doing, the garden of the mind. So in your own time and when you're ready, coming to our first yin posture, you're saying, when are we getting to the stretching part? So we're going to do butterfly first. So our target area here is going to be our groin or our adductors. And so we've said today that you can do everything up against a wall. So I will show you first the seated for the people that don't have a wall. So just bringing your feet, the soles of your feet together. You may need blocks or books that support that. You can also just do dragonfly, gets into the same position. And then if you have some support for your head coming down, and this gets into your spine as well, but the main target area is our groin. You can also do this lying down, so reclined butterfly. Sometimes we start the class like that. So if you have a pillow, we can start like this, or up the wall. Good old wall yin yoga. Just finding a few moments in the day. If you guys can see me this way, maybe this way. So So just, however, you may need to experiment with how far away or how close you are next to the wall. You may want to do dragonfly, which is all the way out. So just being aware that the target area, we go to a target area in Yin Yoga, we don't go to a target pose. So coming to that first edge, Jesus. Coming to your first edge, playing your edge. So coming to that first edge of sensation, not pushing too much to where we're feeling pain and, too much discomfort. So maybe coming back from that edge, knowing that this is an analogy for how we deal with the challenges in our life. How we can deal with the different challenges that the additional lockdown is bringing to our lives at the moment. So knowing that it is good for us to bring ourselves into that zone of challenge from the zone of safety, but that we need to be aware of what our edge is, our emotional edge, so that we don't push ourselves into that zone of overwhelm when our sympathetic nervous system is in overdrive. We want our vagal nerve to be balanced. We want our sympathetic and our parasympathetic nerve to be in balance. And this is where it's that balance, at that zone, playing our edge in the zone of challenge. And all the skills that I give you is how we can stay in that zone of challenge. All the MindFitness skills, how we can rewire our brain. So in your own time, and when you're ready, just releasing that posture and coming back to a rebound. So a rebound is just lying either with your legs up the wall or on your tummy or on your back. So just having a rest. Giving yourself that time, knowing that this is where the magic happens, actually. So we stretched our tissues, we've activated the fibrin and collagen, brought in that hyaluronic acid. Now our fibers are all going back to their original place, and the fuzz has been removed from those areas, increasing our mobility and flexibility. I was thinking a few people have had difficulty getting to this 9 o'clock session because of school and getting kids settled. So next week for you like Nini online, I'll probably do the Thursday session if we're still in lockdown at 10. So it makes it easier. We'll do this session at 9, but the Thursday session at 10 would probably be quite good. So in your own time and when you're ready, we're coming to the next posture, which is we are targeting our hips. And so we're going to do the reclined shoelace up against the wall. So maybe having a little bit of space from the wall to do this. And taking your right foot and placing it on your left knee. That might be enough of a stretch for that right glute. Or then placing your foot against the wall, you can do that, and bringing your foot down the wall gets more of a stretch into that glute. I find too that I have to play with how close or far away I am from the wall. If you haven't got a wall accessible to you today, you can do it lying down. The same thing, bringing that right foot on that left knee, and then bringing your hands under and threading them under that left knee. So the second principle of Yin Yoga is resolving to be still. And we resolve to be still with mindfulness. So being aware, mindfulness is taking those hands away from our face and opening and releasing. And so we do that with saw, as we were saying before. So maybe using our sensations as an example of how we can do this with our emotions and our thoughts. So being aware of your sensation as a way of anchoring yourself into the present moment. The S of saw. And then starting to observe that situation, giving yourself some space. So like we were taking our hands away from our face, we give ourselves some space. And we start to observe the nature of the sensation. Is it diffuse or is it in one place? Does the sensation have a moving quality or not? Is there a temperature? And then maybe accepting, softening around the sides, accepting that sensation, the A of saw, and releasing any resistance to that sensation, any striving, wanting to push yourself more into the stretch. Or maybe being aware of that inner critic that's beating you up, that you're not doing this exactly right, and releasing that. And maybe accessing your more compassionate voice, your kind voice. So in your own time, and you're ready, releasing this posture and coming down to your rebound. So if you're up the wall, you may want to stay with your legs up the wall as your rebound. Legs up the wall is a really good way of improving our autonomic stability, that vagal tone. So sometimes to get ourselves into that zone of challenge or the zone of tolerance, we just need to come into our bodies, get out of our minds. A good way of doing that is just putting our legs up the wall. So in your own time, and when you're ready, coming to the opposite side. So this time, reclined shoelace, placing our left foot or left ankle on our right knee. That might be enough to feel into that glute area, or you might want to put your sole of your right foot up against the wall, bringing it down and feeling into that left glute. And the same if you're not got a wall, you can do it lying down. Same thing, placing your left foot on your right one, and then lacing your hands behind your right knee. So mindfulness with sore. So just as we felt those sensations of our stretch, remembering that emotions are held within our body, are just sensations. And if we can observe them in the same way that we observe those sensations, they will come and they will pass within 90 seconds. Research has shown that. Reminding ourselves, if you feel an area of tightness or constriction, that you recognize as an emotion. Mine is in my right shoulder blade. It's where I hold my anxiety. So name it to tame it. Feel into the sensations of your breath. Bring yourself into the present moment so that you can name it to tame it using your senses. The sensations of your breath, or the soles beneath your feet, or the sounds of the birds, or the taste of your food. Observe the sensations like a curious scientist. Accept them and release your striving, your resistance, and your inner critic. In your own time, and when you're ready, bring your legs up the wall for a rebound, or if you haven't got a wall, just finding a relaxing spot, either on your abdomen or on your back. So in your own time, and when you're ready, we're going to go to the option that you didn't have for the first adductor. So if you have butterfly now coming to dragonfly, or if you had dragonfly coming to butterfly. So either of those postures to get you into the adductors. So dragonfly is just legs wide apart. I forgot that I was going to start with an arm stretch today, so must be a little bit discombobulated myself today. So you can also do those options on the, like we showed on the, if you don't have access to a wall. So just coming down like this. You may want to have some support under your knees if you are in dragonfly. And so how do we release the inner critic? Thank the inner critic. And choose to dance with our inner compassionate coach. Is knowing that the function of the inner critic in the past has actually been to keep ourselves safe. So knowing that we are put into our threat system by that fear of being inadequate and not good enough. And so what we do is that we beat ourselves up before anyone can actually find out that we are inadequate or not good enough. And so the inner critic has been our friend, not our friend, has been, the function of it has been to keep us safe. Sometimes it can also be voices from our past as well. So when we're aware of our inner critic, we can maybe thank that inner critic for keeping us safe, for trying to do a good job. And then turning and choosing a new dance partner, choosing to be with our inner compassionate, kind voice, knowing that as we go through the dance of life, we can go back and forth between each partners. It's just human. We have that analogy about the donkey, about, you know, the motivation. We think that we're going to use motivation for things if we lose our inner critic. But if you think of your child, how would you want to motivate your child? Not by saying they are not good enough and shaming them. You would say to them, how can we help? What can we do differently? What do you need? And that's what your inner coach or your inner compassionate person says to you. What do you need? So it's that analogy of that donkey that either gets whipped for motivation or has a carrot in front of it. And research shows that we actually are more motivated by our inner coach than our inner critic. And so it's actually okay to say goodbye to that inner critic. So in your own time and when you're ready, just bringing yourself up, releasing this posture and coming to your rebound. And one of the ways that we're starting to access that inner compassionate self is to start to practice loving kindness for ourselves and others. So maybe just finding your legs up the wall. Put my legs up the wall. I'm grateful for my beautiful view. And when you're ready and in your own time, we're going to come to our spinal twist. So you can do this up against the wall, or you can do it on the floor. So if you're wanting to do it up against the wall, maybe bringing your feet so that the soles of your feet are up against the wall, giving yourself some space from the wall. So maybe wanting to shimmy your bottom away from the wall a little bit. And then bringing your legs down so that you're bringing them in an arc all the way to the floor. That can be quite a big twist. So for lower back, maybe do the one that's just on the floor. So I'll show you in a minute. And then looking over, so we've brought our legs to the left, looking over the right arm, maybe bringing that bit up so that you get under that shoulder blade. If you wanting to do the option, so it's not such a strong twist, so we can bring one leg over the top of the other, so the right leg bent, bringing it over the left straight leg, and then bringing it over, or both knees bent. So it's probably a little bit less of a spinal twist. You can want to find a pillow or a block to bring your knees over onto to make it less as well. Having a play with how far down you put your feet to the bottom of your mat or not. You may also want to do twisted roots, so bringing your right knee over your left knee and bringing it over, and then looking over your right hand. So this is a tale about how loving kindness works. A disciple asked the Rebbe, "Why does Torah tell us to place these words upon your heart? Why does it not tell us to place these holy words in our heart?" The Rebbe answered, "It is because as we are, our hearts are closed, and we cannot place the holy words in our hearts. So we place them on top of our hearts, and they stay there until one day the heart breaks and the words fall in." In your own time, and when you're ready, just bringing either your legs up the wall or just bringing your legs back up to the middle and then coming down to your mat for a rebound. And some people have to leave at 10, so thank you for joining us if you're having to leave. This time finding our spinal twist to the other side. So if you're doing the spinal twist variation up the wall, maybe bringing your self away a little bit from the wall, putting our soles of our feet on the wall, and then making a big arc with our feet all the way so that to the right, so that our knees are down on the floor, and then looking over your left shoulder, or if you've done the variation on the floor, bringing our knees to the floor, or bringing our left knee over our right knee in that twisted roots, and looking over our shoulder, leaving you in silence for the spinal twist. You can absorb the micro mind fitness practices, the soar, loving kindness. In your own time, and when you're ready, maybe bringing yourself out of the spinal twist and making yourself comfortable. Maybe finding a blanket or a bolster. Coming to our final shavasana. So you may want to even do final shavasana up against the wall, so that final relaxation, other word for shavasana. Sometimes if we have got a little bit of back pain, a bolster under our knees is quite nice. So tucking ourselves in. And maybe bringing our awareness to the theme of the class. Maybe setting the intention to become aware of those voices inside our head. We have lots of voices: angry voices, sad voices, joyful voices, judging voices. Maybe making the choice to change that dance partner and dance with our kind, compassionate inner coach. And knowing that you can use that micro mind fitness skill of soar at any time. And then go soaring. So that's letting go of all of the practice today and bringing your attention to your fists. So bringing them into a tight fist, knowing that we've got life in our fists. We're resisting, we're feeling the tension, the striving, the inner critic. And then just releasing and letting go. Feeling that difference in your body when we let it go and we let it be. And then bringing our elbows tight, tight, tight. Bending our elbows, feeling the tightness in our biceps. Tight, 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 tight. And then letting go. And then scrunching up our forehead. Tight, 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 tight. And then letting go. And then scrunching up our eyes. Tight, 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 tight. And then letting go. And then bringing our mouth into the shape of an O. And then letting go. Knowing that we're activating our vagal nerve. Improving our vagal tone by doing that. And then maybe bringing our necks over to the left, feeling the tightness up the opposite side. Letting that go as we come towards the middle and then going to the other side. And then shrugging our shoulders, bringing our shoulders all the way up to our ears. Tight, 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 tight. And then letting go. And then arching our spines like a cat, feeling the tenseness all the way down along our spine. And then letting go. And then maybe placing our hands on our abdomen, feeling as we take a deep breath into our abdomen, feeling the tightness of our abdomen against our hands. And then breathing in, out and letting go. And then trying that again, a big breath into our abdomen, expanding our belly like a balloon. And then letting go. And then tightening up our belly muscles. Tight, 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 tight. And then letting go. And then scrunching up our glute muscles. Tight, 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 tight. And then letting go. And then maybe doing that again. And then letting go. And then pointing our toes all the way down to the bottom of our mat. Feeling the tightness up the back of our legs. And then letting go. And then pointing our toes all the way up to the top of our, pointing our toes all the way up towards our knees, feeling that tightness. And then letting go. And then bringing our attention from our feet all the way up to the top of our head. Releasing any residual tension, maybe feeling the relaxation spreading like water going into a sponge. So feeling the tension and feeling the relaxation in our feet, our ankles, lower legs, knees, upper legs, pelvis, feeling the relaxation going up our back as we bring the attention up each of the vertebrae of our back, relaxing our lower back, our middle back, under our shoulder blades, up over our shoulders, down our arms, all the way down to our fingertips, our abdomen, our chest, the front of our neck, the back of our neck, and all the way up and over our head and round our face. And then bringing your attention to your hands again, bringing them together, maybe rubbing them, creating some heat. Thinking what quality and inner resource you want to cultivate today, what flower you want to grow in the garden of your mind. Maybe some loving kindness as we traverse these times. And then placing it over your face, feeling that inner resource, maybe gratitude, being drawn into every cell of your body. And it's feeling the calming and the soothing. And then opening the fingers, opening your eyes into your fingers and bringing yourself back into your room. Back into the present. In your own time and when you're ready, no hurries, no worries. Bringing yourself back into a seated position. Maybe thinking of one thing that you may be grateful for today. And then in our seated position, maybe bringing our hands to our heart space. And closing with the serenity prayer. May we accept the things we cannot change. May we have courage to change the things we can. And may we gain the wisdom to know the difference. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. May you go forward with peace and kindness and courage.